Hi everyone, thank you guys for joining me. Got a quick demonstration here. Got a table full of these really neat artifacts, and I want to show you just a couple of them real fast before we go into detail on any one of them. You guys can see, it's almost like they're mocking us, right? But this one is super beautiful with the painted red eye, and down here the details for her mouth will be there, but this is supposed to be her hair. If we take that and flatten it out, we should be able to see the whole character, and then whenever we look into the eye, you can see how it's like a square. That's the center of it, and all that paint is actually around it. It's a beautiful silhouette there. This is her white hair coming from behind her. This is a grandmother, an ancient American grandmother. You guys can see the black, perhaps, showing the eye. The paint all around her eye there. And this is her hair, of course, bunched up at the top. There's a lot to go through today, guys. We have some beautiful color on this shale, and I want to show you just some of the really undeniable archaeological evidence. And I want to remind everybody that they're not going to do anything about any of this unless we make them. Never in the history has anyone done the right thing when it comes to archaeological sites. It is always the citizens. Serpent Mound is an example of that. Believe it or not, this is a representation of a mammoth. You guys have the eye right here, and this is the mammoth's tuft in the head. The trunk is over here. And this is probably the body of it down here. And it's super pretty. It's also a meme of one of the duck heads pointing upright. Inside of this, we might see some pretty cool little totem fellows. I didn't notice that before, but just the larger carvings for the eyes. Super pretty. But this is kind of the representation of the duck head whenever you flatten this out here. That's, of course, that same eye. So here's a really cool Birdman. He is a person. This is his eye right here with the mouth and the long nose. And he actually has on top of his head a bird head. There's a few different eyes. You see this white one, and then there's one up here as well, and this is the bird's beak coming over. And we'll bring him into the light here to show you. And then as we tilt this, it might come out a little better. See, they have like a cartoony one, and then as we tilt it, there becomes a more lifelike one. You can see how these stripes will start to line up. It's fantastic. Even just in this black section, you can see, those of you who are able to see the art really well will at least be able to see the portrait here. The eye is right here, the circle. And so I'll give you a little bit of a look at that. I can. There you go. That's a better shot of it. You can see how there's a painted in face there. All right, let me pause and then we'll take a look at some more of these. And here we have a very beautiful one. And this one actually has a lot of the finger marking carvings in it as well. Might have a few more sheets in it, but let's see if we can't figure this one out together. So we see this little hook nose, and if you look at this mouth, this is actually the mouth of the character inside of there. We can tilt that a little bit. So just in this section, if you look at the circle that's right here, you might see a different eye, but that's the one that I see. And you can see how the black is put onto her lips down there. And that might help to see that eye a little better, the little symbols that are in there. And you can see how these little, I'll show you some more. There's better examples of that. But this one is super beautiful. It has a lot of, you can see how the little ridges, the little tool marks there for a few of these images that are going to be placed on here. How they made like a square. And up top here will represent the bird. Super cool. And you can see all these little lines and markings in here. All the little peck marks. This is all ancient symbols. This is writing from the ancient people. Don't know if it's writing. It's just markings and scratches. But it's part of the art. Let's take a look at a few more. Well, before we go though, this one down here really comes out well. I love the way the eye carving is done for it. You can see how he kind of has that long nose. And then when you zoom in on that section of the eye, you can see how the details, see the lines coming down for it. This is a meme of a Birdman. It's like the Birdman of Cahokia, perhaps. It's a depiction of a man and a bird mixed together. I love just the three tier, the yellow, the red, the blue. There's a lot to see on this one, but we're just going to kind of breeze over it for now. Let's check out the next. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more of these. We've got this one right here, the smaller one. And we can see how the little profile of the nose and the painting for the eye, and then the headdress is behind him. Super pretty. We'll take a look at him in the sun. Here's a beautiful bird head. You can see the recessed beak and the color. The dark for the eye. He also has a lot of the red paint on him. We'll take a look at him in the sun as well. Here we have a really great painted silhouette here. You guys might remember him from other pictures. We haven't really shot him on video too much. And he does have another section inside as well that we'll be able to take a peek at. There's some really realistic eyes in this one. And then here's our beautiful hawkhead Birdman fella. And there's a lot more to see on him as well. There's so many more sheets, and each one of the sheets inside, there's more of the art. Here's a really good example of those little finger carvings. You can see there, see all the little finger markings? That's from somebody's hand. Looks like a child's hand, actually just carving into this to create this meme of this Birdman, this big long nose. That's what this is. This is an ancient American meme, and it shows up on all of the stone art as well. But I just thought that the tool marks on this were fascinating. I think it's really fun that they let their kids do it. It's super nice. And we'll go ahead and take a look at a few more. Thanks for watching. All right, so here's a really nice shot of that bird head. You can see how the eye is just that shaded in section, and how the crest is up top here, and this is just some beautiful paint. There are some silhouettes, and there's a whole lot more leaves on this. But I want to give you guys a good shot of that bird head so you can see just the style that they had. These shale, I believe they were making ponds of this shale. But I want to show you a few more of the pieces that are still on here. As we know from the other one, inside of all these little, you can see how these little lips, these little silhouettes come out. Very beautiful stuff. And then we actually washed this all the way off. It's totally clean. So there is a little white eye carving in there. And then what you do is you tilt that to where all those edges line up, and then that perfect silhouette probably comes out with the mouth being there. That's how detailed this stuff gets. It's really interesting. You might be able to see some huge, beautiful paintings here. We can see that wild eye with this character with this red paint on his face. Look at that beautiful design. And you can see how his eye is just like a swirl. I don't know what's going on in his eye there, but he's pretty awesome. This fella is awesome. See the black around, and we're looking at the color. Wow, I really like it. I want to kind of move him over here so that you guys can see the light. Oh, you're getting him in the shade there. There we go. So you can see how the different characters will start to come out, how they actually start to come to life when you move them around and different eyes start to appear. You can see how what I'm holding is like the hair all coming back here. Hopefully you guys are able to see this one pretty well. And then we can go up a degree and then find the other ones here. Super fancy. And this one's super fancy too. You guys can see the obvious face on this one. Could actually just take this section off and show him, but let's go ahead and look at maybe two of them together at the same time. Take this one and this one. Looks like they're both right side portraits. And let's go ahead and flip this one back around. Let's stick this one over here. And this other side's got some other little characters, I'm sure. A little harder to interpret though. Very interesting stuff, right? Let me go ahead and move this around for you so you can see in the different shadows and in different lights the way this guy comes out. Super pretty. Even in the very small section down there at the bottom, they made a little face, those little buggers. Look at them go. I love it. Super fun. There are some more layers on this. It's hard to make out what's on this side, but I'm sure watching it again, I'll figure it out. You guys will be able to tell me in the comments too what you see. Is the silhouette in white? Is it in red? Or is it in orange? Which direction is it in? So it's supposed to be like a puzzle. Super fun. For this last piece of painted shale, we have some pretty high level paintings on one side, but we can see how the bird beak, perhaps the bird eye is there, the belly of the bird. And this is the crest. You can see the white crest there. Let's get him up into the sky so that you guys can see. For birds, are best looked at up in the sky. But you can see how he has that little removable beak. I guess I see this as his eye. Or recessed beak, I should say. It is removable, as these are shale figurines that come off of here. So let's go ahead and get a little more higher level here on these ones. On this black painting here, see if we can make out some of the artwork that's on it. Some of it's easier to see in the shade, and what you'll see is like little ghostly figures. You'll see them kind of pop out in different ways. Then on the right here, we'll also have probably a human some which way with that pointy nose. Here we have a representation of a bird. You can see how the bird's eye and the head of it's done. It's kind of pointing down there. And then this whole thing is also a big bird too. Just a big bird head. As is the case with all of these, they all turn into big bird heads. You can see the large red eye there, the big hook bill. So super fun. Super interesting. All right, guys, 15 minutes. We have a few more to look at, so let me maybe just finish off with just a few more if you guys stay with me just a minute. So something that might help with seeing the black and white images would be this one. This is a really large example of that. And you should be able to see the white eye there and the silhouette that will be coming out. There's different eyes and there's different silhouettes, so you might be able to make that one out there. Just a head statue. It's got a lot of beautiful color on it and other silhouettes on other ends as well. So I can try to get a little closer there in fisheye so you guys can see. And the other one that I want to look at with you before we go is this one, I believe. No, we already looked at that one. We went through all these. We got to go through all these guys because I can't do this forever. So we got to kind of finish up. There's one here. that has a yellow face, you guys can see. And probably a big bird head on the side. This is the Carolina Classic heart-shaped bird. We can see how the beak and the head, or the face of the bird, is done here on the left-hand side. And then the tail and everything's represented on the right with its big belly. It's like a sign of fertility. That guy always repeats over and over again. And then just on the little edges here, we'll start to see some more. We go ahead and get back into the sun because this one is worth it. All right. If I could see my screen, it would be helpful. Well, can't see the screen anymore, so I don't think I'm any good. Sorry, guys. At least we can get this yellow silhouette here. Hopefully he comes out. This one as well is super nice. And from a distance, he really pops out. He or she. And so you can see how the eye is represented, the mouth painting. And then as we tilt it down here, should be able to see it pop out a little better with the face represented. And then again, for looking at the black and white paintings, which is a skill, there's probably several images in that black and white stuff, but it's kind of hard to say what it all is just yet. I'm pulling you guys away because it does help. Sure do appreciate you guys watching with me tonight. And so I see what it is. There's a character right here. He's holding his hand up, and there's a bird painted right here. You see the big elongated skull? Something that's common here. And this is just a silhouette. There's a little silhouette of a human being right here. I can't really make out all the black and white stuff, but it's super thick and super fun to try to make out. Very cool stuff. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.